This is my second year as judge for the Sound Prize. And once again, the 2024 entries have not disappointed. It has been incredibly encouraging to receive works from a number of London universities and conservatoires, from Birmingham, Oxford, and also from students in Lyon, Helsinki, and Copenhagen, showing that the Ivan Juritz Prize continues to have an international reach. At last year's prize giving, I stated, at a time when we are raging against the impact that austerity is having on both education and the arts, it is heartening to witness the undaunted passion of our student composers. This year, sadly, the situation for musicians has worsened further, as so many of the world's premier ensembles and venues have either been disbanded or are struggling to survive as government support is drastically cut. Music in UK schools, as I'm sure you know particularly, is being undermined at every turn. But the defiant spirit of our composers remains undaunted, a thumbing of the nose at those who do not value that which cannot be valued highly enough. Students continue to challenge the parameters of the discipline, not bending to the commercial imperative to create for maximum accessibility. The range of styles and compositional mediums this year has been so impressive, with works ranging from subtle, barely there acousmatic soundscapes to dramatic orchestral acoustic works. Notably, there has been a larger proportion of submissions for mixed media, with electroacoustic landscapes peopled by live musicians. There is no doubt that new digital technologies are now intrinsic to practices of contemporary classical music composition. And many composers are now actively engaged with technology as a potent creative tool. Several of the Ivan Juritz submissions have reflected this diversification of artistic practice, considering the changing agency of instruments and voices, the transforming relationship between the composer and audience, and the creation of pluralistic soundscapes where the edges between real and unreal sources are explored and blurred. Despite it all, these are very exciting times. So I think Tiina is our... Okay. So I'm absolutely delighted to introduce our first shortlisted composer, and I feel I have to apologise to her as she's listening for the terrible pronunciation I'm about to make of her name. So I'm going to give it a go. Tiina Myllarinen. And maybe you can correct me later. So Tiina is a Finnish composer. She's currently working on a doctorate at Sibelius Academy as part of the University of the Arts in Helsinki. She was recently named as one of the Art Music Composers of the Year 2023 by the Finnish Music Publishers Association, and her works have been performed by leading musicians in the United States, Japan, England, and across Europe. So the work that we shortlisted is called Delante Detras, and it's written for soprano voice, saxophone, and accordion. It's dedicated to the Acacia Trio, and it was first performed in Spain last year. Lasts about 11 minutes. So I know that Tiina is going to tell you a little bit about the piece herself, so I don't want her to be repeating what I might say. So just to move on to what we felt about the piece. So the judges all felt that this was a work of great integrity, an invention delivered by the composer exhibiting total security in her technique, with a lightness of touch that was sonically captivating. The work is at times effervescent, with glistening surface colours and an acute sensitivity to combined and solo timbres, sensuous and multi-layered. At other times it is powerful and dramatic, with gestural surprises, the music taking unexpected twists and turns. We were particularly impressed by the skillful transition of the musical material from one performer to another, where it was often difficult to hear which instrument or voice was in play. Such is the composer's understanding of the acoustic medium in which she is working. Tiina's control over tiny details of texture within a convincing and intriguing overall structure showcases a great maturity of voice. This compositional maturity, combined with the piece's message about individuality within the collective, made this a standout work. As with Laura's piece to follow, but in an entirely different language as you'll hear, we are being invited to consider our place in society through the medium of music, surely one of the important constituents of the modernist ethos. So we'll now turn over to Tiina.
Hi, everybody. And can you hear me? Yes, good. So thank you for your kind words. There was a lot of things that I was also going to talk, but I'm going to talk very shortly because I want you to hear the music also. And I believe the music best explains itself. But a few words about the title of the piece, Delante, Detras. So it's Spanish and it means in front, behind. And I refer to these things in this piece in several ways. And one of them is the vowels of the singer. So at times I ask her to sing them very in the front of the mouth so that become very sharp and narrow, and sometimes really in the back of the throat, so they become really round and dark. And then I also found these similar kind of colors with the accordion and the saxophone. And so we play with all these colors, so we get this nice, colorful thing. But most importantly, the title refers to the movements of the musicians on the stage. And the musicians are moving all the time. Well, not all the time, but almost all the time during the piece. And these movements are an essential part of the dramaturgy of the piece. So the piece starts so that they are all in a row, like in a normal concert situation. They play music that is in one layer, almost like in one instrument, as you said before. But then the tension grows and they start to kind of trying to get their space, and they are concretely moving. The soprano and the saxophone player are trying to go in front of the accordion player and also in front of each other. So there comes this kind of a battle, who is in the front. And we are going to listen the first 6 minutes of the music, and it's just at the end of this big battle. And after that battle, all the musicians just turn away from each other and they play music in solitude. But then they notice that's not also a good way to be alone. So they try to find another way also to be together again. And at the end of the piece, the soprano and the saxophone player go behind the accordion player for the first time. So the accordion player becomes in the front. So the whole theme of this piece is about how to work as a group, how to be in a group where everybody wants to be the first, the most important one in front. So, yeah, I think that's my short introduction. And now I would like us to listen. I just want to mention the players in this recording. They are Margarita Rodriguez, soprano, Inigo Setuain, saxophone, and Nayara de la Puente, accordion. Thank you.